Hi everyone, this is our second podcast. Welcome along. We've been to China, Hong Kong and back again in the space of a very short week.
And on the journey home, it felt like we've been around the whole world and back again, but we'll tell you about that later.
So this podcast is really going to be warts and all, really, what we've done. Really while we were in China, and a bit of crack behind the scenes about the journey and a few birthday parties that we happened to celebrate when we were out there.
A lot of birthday parties, yeah, so it looked really good.
So let's start, Bruna. The first morning you came to me, it was an early Saturday morning.
Yeah, I arrived at Diane's house at 6:30 on Saturday morning, and a lot of tears because I was leaving my daughter Isabella, and she's only 3, so cried the whole way to Belfast, and but it was fine by the time I got to Diane's.
She was very composed. She was actually there in plenty of time. As Bruna always is. Bruna's always very prompt. Yeah. So we time for a quick cup of tea, and Nikolai dropped us off to Dublin.
So we were perfectly fine by the time I got to Dublin.
Yeah, by the time I got to Dublin.
So we arrived in Dublin. Our flight was all on time. Everything was smooth. And the 12 hours went in reasonably quickly, actually. Yeah,
it was a fairly good flight. Yeah, no, very smooth flight. We arrived, and there was actually a young boarding student who was over studying in Ireland who was kind of sitting in beside us.
We were like his mummies, so we were helping him and all, with his dinner and stuff, and making sure that he had a drink at all,
At all times.
Yes, at all times, and making sure that, he didn't fall asleep and all without his head rest and all. So we were really looking after
the stewards kind of overlooked. I think he got his headphones on quite a bit, so the stewards were kind of walking past him, every time the food and drink was being served. So we were kind of nudging him to make sure that he had plenty. So he was well looked after, and is hopefully still home for the Easter break. Yeah, spring break as they call it.
Yeah, so we arrived in Hong Kong, and we had to then figure out how we were going to get to Macao.
Yeah, and on a Sunday morning, literally everything stopped.
Yeah, we thought this would be really easy. We were getting the boat, there was a boat, and we were just coming out and getting on that boat.
So we got in, what time did we get in? About 7ish in the morning?
About 7 o'clock
7 in the morning by the time we got in and through immigration. And we thought, right, that's, we're going to be able just to get on the ferry. There's very regular ferries that go over from Hong Kong airport. And well, that didn't really happen.
The ferries don't start till 12 o'clock on a Sunday. So we had to get the bus. So we thought, well, that's okay. We'll get a bus. At least you'll see stuff out the window. So we're waiting, and then a taxi comes for us, and then we're thinking, this is so bizarre, right? But anyway, just get in the taxi, get in.
It was very funny because there was an American gent who looked really, really well travelled. He had one of these stainless steel, just a briefcase with him, but it had stickers on it from all around the world, luggage stickers. I mean, we're not going to get lost with this guy.
We'll just follow him. We'll follow him, get in his taxi. No, he was following us, so we were both as lost as each other. But we got there, we were fine, and went across Macao Bridge, and it was
the Hong Kong Sevens actually that weekend. We expected a lot more people about. Obviously it was the final of the Hong Kong Sevens, and we expected there to be a lot more people in Hong Kong that weekend, but no, we got over. As Brona said, we got a taxi to the first really immigration point, so we had to go through immigration again, and then it was like going through a bus terminal, really, wasn't it, Brona? Yeah. It really was a bus terminal.
I mean, then we got on the bus, then we
had to go through immigration twice. We had to get our stamp for Macau. No, we had to get a stamp for Hong Kong and then a stamp for Macau in 2 separate lines in that bus terminal. Then we got the bus over, which was fine, wasn't it?
It was all grand.
Until they dropped us at another terminal.
And then they said, right, you have to go through immigrations again and then come back out. So we were like, okay, back off, went, and then we came back out, and there must have been about 100 buses. So we were like, and they all looked the same. So at that point, we just give up and got a taxi.
We got it. But the funny thing about it was we got money out, didn't we? We got money out at the airport in Hong Kong. Of course, we hadn't looked up the currencies beforehand. So I lifted out currency for both Hong Kong and Macau, and I didn't really know how much money I had. It was something like 1,000 of each. And I didn't know whether that was £10 or £1,000. I thought, well, it can't have been £1,000. My bank might have let me lift that amount of money. So we thought, right, do we have enough for this taxi? So we're kind of really, really nervous about
the whole way across, thinking, oh no, but we did, we had enough. So then we arrived into our hotel, and it was around 10 o'clock in the morning. At this point, I was pretending to cry, doing an awful amount of crying that day, but I was pretending to cry because I was thinking I was so tired, and we haven't slept, and we need our
room wasn't ready.
Our room wasn't ready, but they give in and give it to us. So we goes up into the room, and Diane gives the bellboy a tip for bringing our bags up. So we thought we'd look up and see
Again,
him.
I still didn't know how much currency this was. I thought if I'd given this guy the best tip of his life, he kind of looked a bit shocked.
Yes, he was. He looked shocked, and we thought, God, well, really good. He's going to remember us. Yeah, he does remember us, because when we looked up the currency, we gave him £1.60. So
we did try and look for him later, because he really was the one who really helped us get our room. So I mean,
yeah, we felt really bad.
Guilty.
We felt bad about that for the whole week, like, and we kept trying to find him. His name was Max. Max, if you're actually listening to our podcast, we're very sorry.
And if we're back over, which you don't
if we come back again, we'll give you more money.
Yeah. So we went for a nap, didn't we then, Bruno? We went for a little nap because we hadn't slept, obviously. We'd travelled all day, and at this time it was the following morning. And we were quite good. Did we wake? Did we set an alarm? I think we did.
We set an alarm because registration started at 4. So we went down for registration, and it was really good. Like, and it was like, I suppose it was really hyped, wasn't it?
It was very hyped.
You could feel the hype when you walked in, and people were very excited, and they had handmade bags, and
the bags were beautiful. I wonder if I have
bag?
one here. I think I have. The bags had been made in Africa.
In Africa.
So these were all the little bags. Bruno got a lovely yellow one, and I got a blue one, but they were made in Africa.
Very lovely.
And all brought over, and they were filled obviously with all these bits and pieces. So the bags were really
we got
lovely.
wee blocks as a present, and then these wee blocks.
These blocks were really, they're really quite magical. Yeah.
So you had wee blocks, and they had, like, people had drew pictures on them.
Yeah.
From kids, from children, from different nurseries.
So I have mine. This is for the point of view of the recording for YouTube. This is Kawaru, and that's from Tokyo Sokai University Nursery.
And mine is from the British Playhouse Nursery and Tops Day Nursery in England. So mine was both. Well, one was from England and one was from Kuwait. So. And
then this is Aisha from New Shoots Children's Centre in New Zealand.
And I have one here from a preschool in the United States.
Yeah. And then this last one was Peach Kindergarten in China, which actually quite nice. We met a friend over there called Kate Peach, and she has.
And she has one. Or her
can you remember is it
Peach?
Each Peach? Each Peach, I think, is her childcare. If you listen to his Kate, sorry if we got that wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got all our wee presents and all, which was wonderful. Then we had like a welcome sort of like a
orientation type
thing. So we went in, and you were able to meet up with other people, and we had a glass of wine,
and had lovely cocktails, canapes, which were amazing.
Yeah, they were really
amazing.
Lovely. So you spent a couple of hours there, sort of networking, getting to know each other. So it was really good.
And some of our friends from Northern Ireland hadn't arrived at that stage. They hadn't.
No, they hadn't arrived. They still hadn't. They were still travelling.
After this, we went down to find out.
No, we didn't. We went for a walk.
Oh, did we? Oh, yes, we did.
We went for a walk, and we decided that we would walk just round to sort of get to know the hotel. The hotel was really big, so we thought. So we decided to go up, to go outside, and we went up to. They had a swimming pool up, like on top of the roof. So we went up there, and we were trying to take a selfie, of ourselves, because we're not camera shy or anything else. And there was these 3 ladies sitting, and one was from America, the other one was from Tanzania, and the other lady was from Australia. So they said to us, would you like us to take your photo? And we were like, yeah, God, that's great and all. So they said, oh, you're smiling, got talking.
We'll try and insert the photo at the end of the YouTube clip.
Yes, you can see it. So turns out they are very good friends with a friend that we're friends with.
Yes, with June O'Sullivan, who you've probably heard me talking a little bit about. I hope June doesn't mind us calling her friend, but a friend through work, a colleague from
somebody
Leaf,
we know.
Yeah, from Leaf Childcare, and we've met June now on a couple of occasions, and she's invited us over to London to her setting. She has the childcare. She's a social enterprise, the same kind of way that we work with our wraparound units. And her nurseries are in all areas of London, all boroughs, including the House of Commons. And these ladies had been over to see June's settings and were completely wowed by it. They talked at length about her setting in Soho, which they laughed quite a bit about, because they said, if there was a fire drill, they had to go out to a not so savoury area. But they just really loved, and obviously are very, very good friends with June. So they were excited to
So
hear
it was
about why we
wonderful.
were out in Macao, and we
Yeah.
were excited to hear about their journey. They're just 3 friends who meet up every
We
2
meet up.
years, and have obviously become good friends and meet in between times.
Yeah, so it was really good. So they were lovely, and we really did become very good friends with them
Yeah.
throughout the week. And they also took a copy of our book home with them.
Yeah, so
So
that was
book
our
has
first
gone
book
out
that
to
went
there.
out to each of those 3 countries.
The next day,
well, we went down and met
then
our friends.
we
We
met
met our friends. There were several other people. There was Shane from Oak Tree, Jill from Kitty Winkles,
Yeah.
and then people who were really friendly with, you probably know Colette McCann, who I went out to Reggio with, who I've just become on a personal level very good friends with her, and we meet up with her about once a month for dinner. And another lady, Ethel from Lollipops preschool, we meet up with them every month. The best laugh we have in the month, we really enjoy meeting up with them. But they come out, Colette and her daughter Nadine, and during that time actually Ethel was away out to Reggio.
Yeah.
So it was very good.
So we met them.
We met them. We went down and we met them really in the lobby of the hotel, and we shared a bottle of Prosecco. I think they were equally glad to get there. They'd had connecting flights, so we were all glad at that stage to have arrived, and we enjoyed our first bottle of Prosecco of the week.
Yeah. So then we went to bed. Not a lot of sleep was had because our clocks were up the left. We didn't know what time. So up early the next morning.
Very early, 6:30 starts. 6:30 starts. We had to be up for breakfast for 7.
And down for breakfast. Yeah, so I just wanted a piece of toast,
Laura didn't want a Chinese buffet for
It's
breakfast.
like a Chinese buffet, if you like sort of noodles, like you're flying. If you like them at 7 o'clock in the
breakfast,
morning for
yeah.
breakfast, you're flying. So yeah, and I don't really like fruit. For anybody who knows me, will know this, but I don't really like fruit. For a week I ate fruit, so.
I enjoyed my breakfast, I have to say. I had croissants, and the toast wasn't bad, but and the fruit. I couldn't have eaten a hot buffet for.
No.
But then I suppose that equally, if
But it was
they're coming
perfectly
over
fine.
to get a fry here in Northern
Yeah.
Ireland, they'd probably be horrified at what we were eating for
we
breakfast.
we didn't
so.
starve, and it was all
Yeah.
perfectly fine. But yeah, so our first day was, as I said, we had to be down early, and we were going out on the tours.
Yeah.
So we were doing tours of the school. So yeah, very excited about this.
Very good
Couldn't
schools.
wait to see what the schools looked like. Yeah, and they were good.
Yeah, we
weren't they?
went to 2 schools. The first school was the International School of Macao, and it follows a Canadian curriculum, the Victoria curriculum, I think they called it.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
did.
remember.
Yes, they did.
Very, very big school, Reggio inspired, but I would say probably quite loosely Reggio inspired. And it was great. We spent about 2 hours there. Very big school. We got to see around their campus. And in Macau, it's the most densely populated country in the world. It's only, I think, 30 miles long. Obviously a former Portuguese colony, so you could still see a lot of Portuguese heritage in the country. But they actually had outdoor space, which was really like a
They did.
premium.
They had football.
They had football pitches
pitches
and
and
outdoor pitches, which they were really kind of did remind me a little bit of their outdoor space. Reminded me a little bit of Reggio, not overdeveloped at all.
No.
Which was quite nice.
No.
But very much educationally driven, and as soon as you go in, there are, posts on the wall about what all third level education that their children achieve, where they went to. So their aim is really to get children into UK or American universities. It was great to see Queen's University on the map, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They
it was.
sent some of their students over to Queen's, and then after that we went to the
the
Anglican school.
Anglican school, which was lovely. Do you know,
Really, an
the
older
children,
school?
yeah,
Yeah.
and the children were in the school, so it was wonderful to be able to spend time watching the children in the groups, and it was really
It was a very
it
busy
was
school,
busy.
1,300 pupils. Principal there was South African, and his wife also worked in the school. They were kind of a very dynamic duo. Obviously very religious based. They have devotions in the morning. Everybody comes in 15 minutes early. They have devotions in the morning.
They said it really motivates their staff.
Yeah.
Something that we have thought I might start doing devotions.
Rhoda's got to do mindfulness
Mindfulness.
sessions.
Making
rather than
staff come in,
devotions.
come in and we'll do this.
Mindfulness.
To see if this works.
But which is actually what our book is
Yeah,
kind of
that
all
is what our
about
book's
our positive
about.
affirmations and the importance of that. And like he was saying about how the positive, and I mean it's not just religious affirmation.
No,
He was doing
no.
devotions, kind of positive team building, 15-minute, build a staff team up to go out, and it obviously works. I mean, a very busy school. We saw the kids there. They were Oh my gosh, it was just amazing to see them in action. It's a school that just finished their intake for next year, and they had 876 spaces. People applied for 113 spaces, so I mean 8.7 people for every space. So, it was amazing. It was just lovely to see that. And then we went for lunch in the
Macao Tower, which was entertainment all by itself, because the tower moved. So your table where you were sitting was moving, which we knew it was moving, but we didn't realise.
So when you went up for your buffet, you lost where you were sitting, basically.
Yeah, so basically
we went going up to get your food, then your table was obviously rotating, but it was just that one particular, it was like a conveyor belt really, where the tables were. So the buffet was remaining the same, the outdoor windows were the same, so it was just this little, almost this conveyor belt where we were. Look, it was hilarious because nobody could find where. And
all you could see was people just wandering, looking around.
And it was packed.
And it was bunged.
And this is where we met the two girls, Kate and Siobhan, yeah.
And they're from England, and we met them. They were at our table.
Yeah, Siobhan's cousin works in a nursery outside Carrick. Small world.
So we got talking to them, and we became good friends for them too.
Yeah, and I also heard these two Irish accents. I knew that there were only 6 of us from the whole of Ireland actually there. And there were these two girls behind us in the queue, and I said, well, I can hear other Irish accents. And of course, wanting to obviously network and go over and meet the people, and I looked around and saw Australia in their badges. But by the time the day was up, I'd gone over and I'd approached them, and they were, they'd emigrated to Australia, one 13 years ago and one 9 years ago. So really, really lovely girls, weren't they?
And our books went to Australia as well.
Yeah, they went to Australia. So, really interested in the curiosity approach. These girls were, a lot of the Australians were very interested in the curiosity approach. So yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, so we came back. By this point, it was about 4:30 in the afternoon. We've been out all day.
Yeah.
No, so I'm lying. It was 3:30 because we had to be at 4:00. We had to go down to meet up with our groups. Who was talking.
Yeah.
Who was presenting. So then I went off and met her group. I went off and met mine, and we spent an hour with your group, sort of organising the sort of who was going first, what everybody was saying. It was, just a strategy of your group.
It was very good, yeah.
So that was the first time we'd actually met a group in person, obviously.
Yeah, we'd obviously had a lot of
Skyping and Skyping, so it was really, really good to meet these people in person that you've sort of been corresponding with over emails and working out who's saying what. So that was
very, very good.
So we came back to the room, got dressed, and we were ready then for the open ceremony of the conference.
It's amazing.
Which was just like
amazing.
I don't think we've ever experienced anything quite like this.
I mean, 71 nations, everybody flying the flag for their country.
Now, the only thing we were slightly disappointed about, I have to say, is that there was nobody from the north or the south of Ireland.
Representatives,
on we stage. Were there, obviously. We were flying the flag for ourselves, but there was nobody there from either of our regions up flying the flag. So there were 71 nations, but only 70 nations were on the stage. So but we think that
might change.
That might change hopefully in the future, going forward, because. We should be there and we should be represented, and there were 6 of us out there, as many people as there was from England and any other country.
People from England, and definitely more than Scotland and Wales.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think
there was only one Scottish person. Kenny, who we met, and there was nobody else. So it really is very, very important that we are being represented in these forums.
The global,
and we did get speaking to the founders of it, Bonnie and Roger, and had that conversation. So hopefully going forward,
that will be different at the next conference. Yeah.
But as Diane said, the open ceremony was fantastic. And if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see that they've done sort of a reenactment, as I say, of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and everybody had and everybody had torches. Well, you say everybody had the torch and you had to shine it up. I thought she said shine it at your feet. Don't know why. What she'd actually said was
800 people shining at their face. Rhoda's highlighting her feet.
I thought she was saying get on your feet. Okay, so it was all very confusion. Till everybody was like, what are you doing? Why are you shining on your feet? But apart from that, I did get it rectified.
That was good. But I mean, apart from that, there were opening addresses from Bonnie, and it was really, really,
It was just very moving.
It was just very moving. Bonnie had passed on a blessing. She Bonnie, one of the founders, passes a blessing on to everybody who attends. And it's not a faith-based blessing, but it was just, obviously, we're all there with the same joint passion of children and young people. and she passed on. She asked anybody in the delegation if it was their birthday, and one gentleman came on stage, and she passed on a scarf that had been given to her mother at a previous
one 2 years ago,
and it was very emotional.
It was really lovely because I don't know if her mother had passed, but she was quite emotional.
She was very emotional.
I think
and
possibly
hopefully then that will be passed on at the
and
next.
that'll be passed on at the next one in Vancouver.
And there was also a message bowl or a bowl,
there was
as
a bowl,
well.
and that has been going for 20 years.
For 20 years, yeah, where people put their messages and their wishes. So
it was lovely.
It was just lovely, and children performed. Oh my gosh, Britain's Got Talent. If Simon Cowell had been there, they all would have been getting red.
I mean, them children were fantastic.
They would have been getting buzzers.
They were
wee,
like they were about 5 or 6. Like they were tiny, like. So after the opening ceremony, we then had, back up at the swimming pool area again, we had more sort of wine and more cannabis. Oh my God, the food, Dan.
Amazing.
Do you remember them waffles?
Oh, that was lovely.
Like you could have spent the whole day on the night standing at the waffle station.
And Macao is the gambling capital, so anybody who's been to Las Vegas, it was, I suppose, not to the scale of Las Vegas, but it was like the strip in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very elaborate hotels. You know, these were very, very plush hotels. So everything was done to the
But
ends.
it was brilliant, and we were able to really, really network up there. So we met people from all over. And it was just fantastic.
It was brilliant.
So back to bed. Well, we slept. We actually slept.
Did we sleep that night? I've lost.
On
my
slept.
Fitbit, I think I tracked about 2.5 hours a night.
We slept. Well, I slept anyway.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't slept the night before. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
So, oh no, I didn't sleep this night because I was talking the next day. Yes.
Yes, you were.
Yes,
nervous.
I was talking the next day. So like
I slept. I did sleep because
you
were in the
slept,
bathroom.
I was in the bathroom.
Rhoda was in the bathroom
rehearsing my speech because I was talking. So no, I didn't sleep. Okay.
So up we got the next morning.
And we again away to breakfast.
And then we had the first 2 hours every day was really like an opening.
Like open ceremonies.
It was like
they had like sort of 15-minute sort of speakers, and then in between the speakers they had people who were singing, and you had to get up and dance and to keep you moving and to keep, which was really fun because sometimes when you go to conferences and you have speaker after speaker, you're sort of more, you're sort of sitting there thinking, God, right, okay, but there was no sitting, like, in between, had you up dancing and you were doing like, it was really good. It was good. Like, I enjoyed the dancing.
Good fun.
Like, it was really good. So then
we broke off. We broke off into our morning workshops. I went to a discussion on sustainable development goals, which is obviously something that's really important to us, and Sleepy Hollow advocate for the achievement of sustainable development goals. And it's in our books, and obviously quality education was the key driver in that one. Bruno, what was your workshop in the morning?
Professional development.
Yeah.
So it was just ways to encourage your staff to develop themselves, and it was very interesting, I have to say.
Yeah. And then after that, I went off to using social media for advocacy. Quite informative, but maybe not the most informative training probably the least informative training of the week. And we're doing a lot of it already, but I kind of wanted to see how we could spearhead and use social media to get the voice out there, which really wasn't really the intention. It was just kind of very basic.
Yeah.
And you went to...
I went to Men in Early Childhood, which was fantastic. I mean, I came out of there so inspired. I was with Kenny Spence and Jerry Power, and I mean, they were just fantastic when you were listening to them. Really, the model is fantastic, and I came out, I was all buzzing when I came out to it.
Amazing.
Loved it. Really, really good.
Bruno was very inspired to the point, we've made great links with them as well.
And we've arranged maybe to go and see
Kenny.
To see how they're doing it. So fantastic.
And then we went into a session on multi-site organisations, which was fantastic, really, really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really good for what we were doing. It was just very, very useful, in terms of we were kind of talking about, we were given kind of scenarios on how we would deal with them in our individual organisations, and we were there with people who've got 2,000 settings, 2,000 employees. So I mean, it was just great to see, what they would do in that event. And then after that,
then it was me.
Yeah.
Then I was talking, okay, and but okay.
Brona's went really, she's underselling herself here. Brona's went really, really, really well. I mean, she was in a really strong panel. There were 3 ladies there, one from Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and she had been involved herself in an
In a
explosion.
bomb. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she worked with the Boko Haram girls about
yeah.
trying to get them re-established, and the very sad story about some of these girls who had been taken, you know, who have since been found not wanting to come back into their families. They've kind of been brainwashed. So I mean, it was very, very moving. Brona was obviously talking about a lot of the cross community that we have done post-conflict in Northern Ireland, and how we bring children together through play across the, you know, there's no divide, where there's a huge emphasis in shared education. Here in Northern Ireland, we've been doing shared play from the outset, in terms of bringing children into school settings. I know there's always shared care in daycare settings, but the fact that we're in schools which are maybe single faith schools, about how we bring children together into schools which are ordinarily, predominantly, not always, single faith schools. So it was just really good. People really, really gelled with Brona's personal story. It was excellent. And then there was Anna, who runs peace camps. I don't know how to say peace camps, and she's in California, and Anna's a Native American, and she's very much kind of integrating children from that point of view. But there were so many people who come up to you afterwards, Bruna, who'd been in Belfast. There's been 4 previous World Forum events in Belfast, and people who could really relate to Bruna because they'd seen some of the areas Bruna talked about.
Yes, and it was lovely even afterwards, you know, like, because I talked on the first day, obviously, of the workshop, but there was even people coming up to me on the day, on Thursday and Friday, when we were getting ready to go home, to say, oh, you were the girl who spoke about conflict, and even Roger himself said, oh, you're the girl from Ireland who talked about the conflict, you know, the founder. So yeah, you were like, oh, right, okay.
It was very good.
So,
really, really well done. And Bruna did herself,
Mm-hmm.
and did Sleepy Hollow really, really proud.
So
what did we do that night?
After we went to a culture dance. I was ready to dance, tell you. So I was like, let's go, that's my bit over, I can now relax. So we had a culture
we maybe had another
dance.
little bottle of Prosecco with our friends in between.
We did.
Yes.
And then we went to the culture dance, which was great fun.
International dance.
71 nations all doing their own dancing. We've done a wee bit of the sevens.
We've done a wee bit of the sevens.
If I would have maybe
around the floor.
Yeah, if I would have maybe had a couple of more glasses of Prosecco, there could have been a lot more river dance happening, but we're glad
Where did we eat that night? I'm trying to think where we ate.
We just went down to the hotel. Into the next hotel down.
Was that the night we went to Four Seasons?
Yes.
Yes, that we all got eaten by mosquitoes.
Yeah, and then I got
thought
bit alive.
Saw a rat.
Yeah, there was a rat. Do you think there were more rat? This is not about this rat. Okay.
We think actually we saw 2 rats.
Yeah, there was, like, definitely. One of the guys we were with was like, it's a chipmunk. I was like, a chipmunk doesn't run like that. Like, yeah, this suppose there were more rat. Only, you know, only we had seen in China first.
Yeah.
So
again, all these hotels so elaborate. You know, it seems very plush for us saying that we were in the Four Seasons, but it really, you know,
it really wasn't like the Four Seasons.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not like the Four Seasons you maybe imagine. You know, in some of those TV series in America.
So yeah, I can say I slept that night because I did. I was unconscious. Couldn't hardly. The next morning I was going to mindfulness and slept in and everything. But
so the next morning, up again, we went to our morning session. After that, it was my turn up to speak.
Yeah, Diane was talking.
I spoke alongside a guy, Chad, who runs New Horizons, setting with 2,000 employees and 200 sites across America. And Annette, who was a PhD student, very, very busy room. I had been very shaky that morning. There's a few people who'd been kind of coming down. Actually, one girl not well at all, who
one of the girls we had met, they had to get an ambulance
heart attack. I was quite shaky that morning, so I was quite shaky when I started speaking, but I came around and I did okay.
Again, underselling herself here. You know, Diane has the power of just talking. You know, I think
that's part of my problem.
But
I prepared notes. Everybody spoke off notes. Everybody
was speaking off notes.
And I'm just better. Actually, I had a few PowerPoints. I'm just better winging it, talking like we're talking now. And I think because I was a little bit shaky and my eyes, you know, my eyes were jittering a little bit, and I couldn't actually see what was in front of me, so I kind of kept thinking that I'd missed what was on the screen. But anyway, it was really good. It was an hour and a half session, and the Q&A, really, you know, what we're doing in Sleepy Hollow, you know, it's amazing.
People related more with that because everybody there, well, I'm saying everybody there, it's possibly not true, but the people who I got talking to in the room was sort of all come from backgrounds like ours, you know, maybe only had 1 or 2 settings, so they could relate when they were asking questions. Down was sort of answering them, and they could relate to it. Sometimes with Chad's talk was fantastic, but I think he was talking on a big
corporate
scale,
scale.
like a
It could
corporate
have been
scale.
possibly like the Bank of Ireland scale
Yeah,
here,
like it was
or
really big,
the Ulster Bank scale. You know, the type of corporation, and how he was talking about bringing his staff on was very much at a corporate level, about
Yes.
mentorships and all of that, which smaller organisations,
Can't
even
do.
with ourselves with 15 and 16 sites.
Yeah,
But you know, we
wouldn't
were
be
able
doing
to
that.
share about how we expanded and the use of using mentoring and the
And
use
the other
of
lady who spoke with Anne had done a PhD research, so she
only had one setting, so she wasn't able really to answer any practical questions.
yes
Her basic her research is very much about how you build success from within and quality standards, and she was actually able to pinpoint things from her research that Chad and myself were doing. So that was really good. I was really glad to get that one over and done with. Really didn't feel quite well for about an hour or so afterwards. I had to go back down to the room for a
had to
while.
have a wee lie down. I think there was maybe something working on you.
Yeah, but after that, what
But
happened next?
then she came out. Oh, after that, then we had pop-up sessions.
They were brilliant.
Pop-up sessions were brilliant. I mean, we're not going to go through all of these because we'll be here till tomorrow. But
What was the one we went to that was really good?
they
Bruna?
literally had like they were happening.
There were
every
24 minutes.
4 minutes.
24
You were
minutes.
popping in and out of these.
What was the one
I'm
that
trying
we
to
went
see
to
the
that
one
was
that we
really
went
good?
to. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Right.
I think it was on past the bottle caps one.
Was it?
Try the last one.
Mm.
I can't remember what one it was,
Oh,
but it was
there was
very,
just
very
one.
good.
So I'm trying to see here to see if we can.
No,
Can't see it,
can't find it, but it was really, really good. We've got the notes back and that, but those sessions were really, really brilliant. What did we do that night, Bruna?
Oh, that's the night we celebrated birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
decided that we wanted to have some red meat.
Well, Wednesday, that was Wednesday night. So on Wednesday, we knew tomorrow that the event was ending. So we wanted to meet up with the friends that we had met and maybe go out for a lovely meal because everybody was going to go their separate ways on the Thursday. So we met up with a few of the people we had met up with, and we all said we will go out of our hotel and go to a different hotel. So we went over to well, we walked around about 3 hotels because
Well, we went to the Parisian and went to go up the Eiffel Tower, but it was kind of really fast food.
yeah,
So we went
everybody
from
was
there
like,
to the Venetian, and we just said we wanted a steak restaurant, not realising it was probably the most expensive restaurant in Macao. But at this stage, about 9 o'clock at night, I mean, these conferences were long days,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you were up
they
at
were
6:30, 9 o'clock before we were getting food. So we were mindful that we wanted just proper food,
just nice food. We
Yeah,
just wanted
I
nice
think
food.
Shane talked to us a little bit about the MSG and foods, and we kind of thought maybe we would stay away from the
With Dan feeling shaky and stuff. We
and
thought,
yeah, Shane had said like to stay away from the MSGs and food, so we just wanted to get some European food at this point. And so we went over there, and they asked me at reception, was there a special occasion? Well, Bruna turned 40 earlier on in the year, and we did say
January.
well, we did say when we went to Hong Kong we were having a splash out night in a hotel, and that's what I was getting Bruna for her birthday. So I did say it was Bruna's birthday. I mean, we were celebrating your birthday. We were there with Colette and Nadine again. So we arrived in this restaurant, and when we came down, they give us these special birthdays pre-printed, or menus pre-printed with the date on it for Bruna's birthday. When I say every single person came out of the kitchen, the woodwork, no matter where they was, to ask who the birthday person was. They took photos.
They could have pre-warned me that they were doing this.
Oh, it was
so when they
funny.
come over to the table, they were like, whose birthday is it? And I was just looking at them, they all pointed at me, and I was like, oh, right, oh, yeah, so it's fine then. Yeah, they took photos and made me a birthday card, and give us discount and all on our bill because it was my birthday, and they
Well,
give
thank
us,
goodness they did, because
thank
it's so
God, because the bill was
expensive.
really dear. And then they give us like a birthday
They give souffle, which Bruna didn't like, but we enjoyed it. It was beautiful lemon souffle.
They
But
all
that was
liked
a
it.
funny
But that was the
night.
funniest night because we laughed the whole night because
We
they all
really
kept looking over at us every 2 seconds. They were looking at us, and I swore if they come out that door and start singing happy birthday, we were leaving. But it was
And then
really funny.
we decided that we would walk through one of the casinos on the way back. Colette, who was with us,
So we're walking through this casino, right? And we're in the casino
so with £10, we said we were going to spend £10 in this
because I
casino.
have to spend money.
Yeah.
And we're walking through it, and Colette says, "Yeah, so are we in a casino yet?" We're like, "Yeah, this is it. Like we're in here now." So we put our £10 in, which got us one go. We didn't win.
We didn't win.
How
No
sad.
big winnings. Hence we came
So
back.
we went back to the hotel and we slept. We did actually
We
sleep.
did sleep
we
that
got
night,
into
yeah.
the pattern. So the next morning again, up and away early, lots of different workshops again, and that this
Yeah.
day it was Shane's turn from Oak Tree.
Was that the day we were having to leave
Thursday,
early?
we had to leave
Yeah,
early.
we had to leave early because we had to get over to Hong Kong. Was that on Thursday? I am
That was
lost.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was on Thursday. So we knew that we had to, at the very, very latest, be away for 12 o'clock. We had a meeting with the head of the IPA, Kathy Wong. And I'm sorry that this is kind of going on very, very long. I see we're at 34 minutes, but we'll try and wrap this up really quickly. We stayed for the first part of just Shane's talk. We went to the workshops, then went to Shane's talk, which was really very, very,
Yeah,
very
good.
informative. And actually a very brave story, wasn't it? I mean, very successful and a good story. So we really,
Yeah.
really enjoyed that.
We
Literally,
then left and we got the ferry, we found the ferry, so we got the ferry and we went to Hong Kong. Yes, we arrived at our hotel, again had to do a wee bit of crying, please let us into our room, and we got in and then we had a meeting with Kathy Wong from the
International Play Association.
Which was
Kathy
just-
was running an hour late, which was such a shame because we had other reservations that night. Again, and Nadine and Colette had invited us round to their hotel in Hong Kong. Nadine, who works in Harrods in London and has a lovely lifestyle, knew the manager of the what
Ritz.
hotel was she saying? The Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong. So that's where they were staying. We weren't in just quite as plush hotel as that.
We went
But they
right in
invited
there.
us round for dinner. So we literally just had an hour with Kathy, but she was,
So
I mean,
informative.
yeah, and we will definitely have links to build on there
Definitely.
with Kathy. Really, there will be work and hopefully maybe even research published
Yeah.
as a result of that work. So that's a podcast for another day, and
Yep.
certainly lots in our journal about that. At this stage, our journal has gone out to 12 countries around the world.
Yeah,
When we were there, it was launched.
This went
12
to-
countries around the world. I think
Yes,
it's on our
it's
Facebook
on our
page if you
Facebook
want to look
page, so,
and see.
So it's fabulous.
So
to
that
think
right
that
then-
people all over the world are using our journal.
Are using our journal.
So.
And it was just lovely. We got a beautiful voicemail message from Stephanie from the Curiosity Approach. She got
to
ours
say
as well.
how she
To
loved
say
it.
how lovely it was. So it was just lovely to get a message from her too. So after that, Bruna, then we went to the Ritz
And we had
for
dinner.
dinner.
And it was lovely.
was
Lovely,
very,
lovely,
very
lovely.
nice, yeah.
The next day we were flying home the next night. And
Yeah.
like sort of our flight was at 12 o'clock or 12:30 at night on the early hours Saturday morning. So on Friday we thought we'll do a wee bit of sightseeing and we went
We didn't
round.
set the alarm. We decided, right, we'll get up, we'll go for breakfast. We'll not set the alarm.
Yeah, because we'll wake up early anyway.
we had done every day, 20 to 11. Of course, we
woke
missed
up,
breakfast.
breakfast and everything.
Yeah.
But off
we
we
obviously
went.
needed that.
And we done a tour of the islands. And
Okay.
So we went around the islands and it was really, really, it was lovely to see.
It was
it.
really good, yeah.
We done a wee bus tour and all. So off we goes, all ready to go home. We were psyched up.
We were
going
set for home, weren't we, Bruno? We were
Yeah, but we were ready to
exhausted,
go home.
yeah.
At this point we were
We've
really
met a lot
exhausted.
of people. We were exhausted and more than ready
We
for
were
home.
talked out and we arrived at the airport. Thank God we arrived early. And they said to us, no, unfortunately, there's a 9-hour delay on your flight.
9.5 hour delay. We're going to send you back into Hong Kong, and you can
and-
stay the night, and we'll fly you to Dublin the next day.
At 20 to 10 the next morning. At this point, we just looked at each other and said, no, I'm sorry. You're going to have to
You
get
have to get us home.
We want to go home. We can't stay here another day. So they said we can get you
Shout
on.
out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I'm going to put your photo in too because shout
Jeffrey-
out to
Jeffrey
getting us
helped us.
sorted. Yeah, we got the last 2 flights and a flight to
Three last-
Manchester.
Yeah, and then we were transferring from Manchester. We arrived. They said you'll be arriving, and there's a flight going out to Dublin an hour later. Your bags will just automatically transfer. Unfortunately, we were held up 15 minutes leaving Hong Kong. Missed our connecting flight to Dublin.
I kind of knew this, and I got Wi-Fi on board, so we kind of, my son Nikolai thankfully had kind of said, Mum, it's going to take you need 15 minutes, to transfer from one terminal to the next. I knew before we landed in Manchester that we weren't going to make it. We kind of thought we would 40 minutes, skin of our teeth, but when we landed, they didn't have...
Because we landed late, they didn't
Yeah.
have our landing spot ready.
Yeah, so we had to wait, and then they were getting steps and they were busting us in. So there were people meeting us at the bottom of the steps to say, sorry, you're now in the midday flight to Dublin, which
Dublin.
would have meant we were actually coming in around about the same time. But I had booked flights at this stage in into Belfast City. We were able, the main thing was to get our bags off the plane, which again they were very, very helpful with. Got our bags off the plane and we had to hang about for about an hour and a half and we flew into Belfast City. So I think all in all,
which was like, you know, the most nerve-wracking flight coming in.
Oh my gosh,
like,
the turbulence.
talk about shaking.
Well, the turbulence on the flight to Manchester was awful for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
There was a girl beside me from Australia, and she had said to me she'd travelled 52 countries. She'd just been on a 9-hour flight from Australia and was currently living in Manchester. And she said that was about the worst turbulence she's ever experienced on a flight, on the flight to Manchester. But coming in the Belfast flight, the winds were horrendous. As you know, anybody who's landed into
like
the city,
the
how
plane was
bad
just
it is.
shaking,
And it was a little Flybe propeller plane. And I was sitting beside a mum and her baby, and she was very nervous. Bruna was holding hands with the person she didn't know.
We didn't know.
Sitting beside her.
I was at this point beyond exhausted. Hadn't slept in like a day now, and I was just thinking, "Oh, please now."
It was really,
you know,
really
please,
windy.
please, just land this plane and let me off and let me go home.
So we got off, and the longest baggage reclaim ever, trying to get that out, and Nikolai met us at the airport. We were just about to pull off. He put the ticket in the machine, and with
gosh,
the
I
wind,
forgot about that.
his ticket flew away. So we were running
So we
about
had
trying
no
to get tickets.
Couldn't get out of the car
By the
park.
time, I think, Bruna, by the time you got back up to Glenavan, you were probably home about 3 hours earlier than
Yeah.
if we'd just taken the direct flight, and we would have had a night's sleep.
Um,
But anyway,
do you know what? A fantastic week. And
Fantastic
if
week.
somebody said to me, would you do it again? I would do it all again this weekend. It would maybe bring mosquito repellent, because like got the legs out
we
of
got
me.
some lovely little authentic costumes back with us. We're going to throw a tea party after the holidays, and beautiful little teapots. So I mean, we're going to be using our contacts and obviously just all of the stuff we were able to bring back to the children. But
yes,
so much to journal, and I mean, whenever we look at our goals and our goal setting out of the week that we have,
but we've done more than we actually thought, and we
set out
have
to
made
achieve.
so many connections, like
Yeah.
so. I mean, from people from all around the world. So, really looking forward to setting them links up and really keeping in touch with them people. And the next World Forum is in Vancouver in 2021. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know, I think I would like to go there, it sounds like fun, you really should. We had the best week, really the best week.
I don't think in all of our years of networking, or my years in PwC or Deloitte, that I could ever compare a conference that was quite like it. I mean,
do you know what, everybody
you come away feeling empowered. You want to do more for the children. You want to do more for families. You want to do more about advocacy for children and their rights, and for play and the importance of play. Play was a huge theme the whole way throughout, and everybody is alarmed about this next generation of children who are growing up with screen time, what it's going to be like for them, and it's just, it was just fantastic.
It was just fantastic. So if you are thinking, oh, the World Forum sounds like something I would enjoy, go for it. Book it. You'll have a fabulous week. We loved every minute of it, and as I say, if we were doing it all again this weekend, we would be. The only thing we would change, we asked each other what we would change. The only thing we would change is I would bring mosquito repellent with me.
I would bring lighter clothes. The humidity was just horrendous.
I was dressed for the summer. And but yeah, we would do it all again in the morning.
Yeah.
We had a fabulous,
and to any of our friends
week.
that we met who are maybe listening to this, we can't wait to maybe see you in Vancouver.
Yeah, and hopefully, but we'll be talking to you before that.
Bye.